All right, so the first part of this video, or the first video in this um, module, we talked about domestic destination. Now we're going to talk about international destinations. Why do people go overseas? Well, because it's cool. They're places they've never been before. Just like I said, people go to cities just to experience the cities. People go to nations or cities within them just to experience the culture and everything else. If you've never been overseas, it's very worthwhile. If you're at all interested in tourism as a career, you're going to be going overseas. So, but let's talk about some of the shifts that we've seen over the years. Years ago, international tourism was for Europeans because they could go very easily from one to another. And then rich people would go to places like Egypt and other places throughout the world that had a particular majesty or interest, like the Great Pyramids or things like that nature. Right. But now we're seeing some shifts. A lot of people are traveling, a lot more people are traveling, a lot more varied interest. Uh, uh, Europe is not potentially not as popular as it used to be. The markets that are opening up is Asia and Southwest Asia, meaning the Middle East. So those are areas that are now becoming very popular destinations. Um, One thing about international travel and international tourism is you see a lot of major festivals and events that draw people into places. Sporting events like the World Cup, wherever that's being hosted, uh, Le Mans races or whatever it is. I'm not a sports guy, so but all those things draw people in. But other festivals and temporary things, sort of like you have a World's Fair somewhere, or Olympics. Olympics are a big one. They're temporary. They do have lasting effects, mostly or potentially positive, sometimes negative. But I mean, I remember standing there in the Olympic Stadium of 1936 in Munich, Germany. Now, during 1936 and shortly thereafter, that Munich, Germany had a pretty a bad stigma, but it was still a very pretty place, and it was still used for those kind of activities, those winter activities, and it was a wonderful place. All right. Uh, so anyway, they could be temporary or seasonal. But what I wanted to also talk about, I wanted to point out this link here. Now, this link, because I'm doing this as part of my screen, I don't think it's going to work. But um, as a tour professional, when you're talking to people about destinations, where they have no idea where they want to go, but you ask them questions of what they like, then as a tour professional, it's your job to have an understanding of the destinations available. And then let's say somebody says, I want to go here. What do you know about it? And maybe see you don't know anything about it. So research, have an understanding where the websites, where the information is that will make you an expert on those places is important. Now, our homework this week brings you to two major American websites that give you a lot of information about different destinations, and they are the World Factbook and the Advisory Board, or the advisory. Um, the State Department has travel advisories, so those are really important. But for more uh, um, positive note, because a lot of times those two websites will tell you what's good, but they also tell you what's bad. Uh, a very interesting website is this UNESCO World Heritage site. Let's see if this link works. Okay, it does not. So what I'm going to do, all right. So this is what, when you click on there, you're going to go here. It talks about all these national heritage sites, or not national, world heritage sites. So uh, the UN and one of its subcommittees, UNESCO, has created these things, and there's a lot of them. And they're supposed to be sites that have significant value for World Heritage. All right, so you can see all these places. Some countries have one or two, other countries have a lot, but you can click on them. Let's go to Bangladesh. All right, so in Bangladesh, you have the ruins of the Buddhist Vihara at, yeah, per whatever. All right, so you can see the different pictures, and it talks about it. It is a protected site by the UN, or at least an identified site by the UN. So it's a really, really neat website. And quite frankly, some people will argue that what makes something a World Heritage Site is a political thing. That's why many countries have more than the United States, even though we have a lot more to offer than some other nations. Uh, Whatever your belief isn't on that. But even so, the places that are on the list are pretty neat. And our clients uh, might not care about the politics behind it. They just want to go to Monte Picchu or wherever. You can go here, you can look it up. It's a really good resource if you're going to be in this industry. Okay, as well as the other two that I mentioned. This one's a little bit more fun. The other two are more just just kind of sterile information. This is a little bit more fun. But anyway, and then there's a lot of different websites like that. So destinations, what can be a destination? Any place can be a destination. We can make something a destination by marketing. Now, remember, marketing is not just advertising. Marketing is creating a product that people want. So I can do something. I could take a swampland beach in Orlando, Florida, and turn it into the largest tourist attraction in the world. All right. Or I could have a place that is historic, and then just advertise it a little better, just market it a little better, and bring people in. Or I could be somewhere that knows that I'm en route to uh, one of these big sites, so I create something, an attraction, something that attracts people to be a secondary destination, and then I end up making more money than the primary destination, maybe. All right. So destinations, have an understanding how they work as far as how tourism is driven by them, but it's not always the end all be all. That the place where you're going might not be the only thing that can make money or be successful as far as tourism go. It could be the travel, if it's a train ride, or it could be secondary destinations. So it's all interrelated. Hopefully, this kind of just opened your mind to it a little bit. And I'm going to cut it loose there. So hopefully well, thank God that this video was shorter than the first one. All right. So I will see you guys next week.